Good evening. Today is January. No, it's not. It's December the 26th. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a long day, and I feel like it's been a month since Christmas already. So we are going to get back to on a regular schedule of reading a book of the Bible at the time. And I know I was in the New Testament for a good bit of the last several months, and I'm going to be honest, I can't remember which books I've done and which I haven't. I know some of the ones, but I need to go back and log which books I've done so I make sure I read all of them. And so I decided to change things up a little bit, and I'm going to start in the book of Genesis. We've covered Revelation, which is the end. We're going to go over the book of Genesis. So tonight I'm going to read Genesis chapter 1. And by the time we finish Genesis, I should have a log done of which books we've read together and which ones we still lack reading, and then we can go from there. And I may go back and forth for a while, New Testament, Old Testament. So tonight we're going to read Genesis chapter 1, and I'm sure most people, if they've read very much of the Bible, I would imagine there's some chapters they've read that have been read more than others, and I would think one of those is maybe the first couple of chapters of Genesis. Oh, excuse me. And Psalms 23 and Psalms 100, and I'm sure there's a few others, but I think most people, if they decide they're going to read the Bible, they're going to start with Genesis. And anyway, so you should be familiar with this, but if you're not, that's fine too. We're going through it. We're going to talk about it. And again, these lives don't stay up on Facebook. I think it's 30 or 35 days. And so what I do every night after I finish is I download it, and I'm trying to get them all loaded. I haven't done it in a while. Excuse me. But I'm loading all the videos onto YouTube. And they're on the 3-in-1 Motorcycle Ministries YouTube page. And each one is marked. Either it's like a church, bike church date when it was done, or it's what chapter and book I'm reading. For the most part, there's some that I may have to watch it enough to get a kind of a title of what it is, or the scripture references or something. But I'm trying to get them all up there, and I appreciate y'all's patience as I do this. I've still got all the book of Luke that we just finished reading. I've got to upload that, and then I've got some bike church services. I'm looking at my list. I've got a few bike church services I need to load up, and then I probably got about 20 videos that I just need to watch enough of them, because I did not title them when I downloaded them. I just downloaded them, and so they've just got gobbledygook for a name. So I need to give them a name before I can move them over. Oh, excuse me. Move them over to YouTube, so if you're looking for something, you can find it. But saying all that, I'm going to read the first chapter of Genesis, and then got a little bit of something I want to mention to you. And obviously it starts out the creation of the world. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And the word be, somebody said, notice how many times the word be is used in that first chapter. Let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Oh, excuse me. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse, and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And so it was. And God called the expanse heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind, on the earth. And so it was. And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind. In other words, if it was a fig tree, it's not bearing pears. And if it's an apple tree, it's not bearing walnuts. Each tree bore fruit of its own kind. And trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. And the stars, God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. And God said, let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens. So God created the great sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. And there was evening and there was morning the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the livestock according to their kinds, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And he let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it. And and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life. I have given every green plant for food. And it was so. And God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day. So now that's chapter 1. Now there are people who try to figure out if God did it in six literal 24-hour days, or if they were ages and he called them days. There's a scripture that says 1,000 years is as a day, and a day is as 1,000 years to God. In other words, he's outside of time. And those are interesting discussions to have, but it does not matter to me. All I know is God said it, and it was created, and it was good. Everything he created was good. There is a reason for everything he put on this planet. So, as an example, he put tobacco plants on this planet. He put tobacco, he created it, and it was good. Now, I don't think that he intended for it to be used to smoke and make people addicted to smoking cigarettes. But there's a purpose for tobacco. There's a purpose for potatoes. Now, I do not believe God created a potato so people could make alcohol out of it, as an example. I know there are other things you can make alcohol out of. But potatoes are good baked. They're good made into French fries. They're good mashed and stewed and all other kinds of ways that you can eat potatoes. And God created it for that. Everything. God created everything, and everything had a purpose. And it's up to us to use things according to its purpose. So, any natural thing, and I'm going to say this, and there are probably going to be some people that are not going to be happy with me. It doesn't matter. Marijuana has a use. There are children who have dozens and dozens of seizures a day, and by using something in the marijuana plant, and I can't remember what it's called, but it doesn't matter because I'm not in charge of it. But there's something in that marijuana plant that causes those children not to have seizures, and they're able to live a normal life. People who have Parkinson's disease, that same substance can be used to help them not have tremors and not have the other side effects that they have. So there is a purpose for marijuana. It's not an evil thing. People use it for evil if they want to, just like they use alcohol, they use tobacco, corn. That's another thing people can make alcohol out of. But corn in and of itself is a good thing. So I'm just saying God made things for good, and he had good purposes in mind for them. But we as humans, sometimes we just do bad just because we can do bad. And we ought to know better, but we don't. We don't know better. We know better, but we don't do better. So that's my little thing about that. Now I do want to say, excuse me, goodness. Excuse me. The first of the year is rolling around. And I know a lot of people make New Year's resolutions, and most of the time they don't last but a week or two. But now is a good time to take stock in what you have done in the past, the things that you have done, good and bad, the things that God has done for you and blessed you. First of all, you need to be thankful for the things he has done. You need to be thankful for the things that he hasn't done. You need to be thankful for the things that he allowed you to do and didn't allow you to do. There's a lot of things to be thankful for. So that's one thing. Take stock of everything that you've done and haven't done. And then decide some things that you'd like to try to do differently. I'm not saying I'm going to lose 50 pounds by the 1st of February. I'm saying I want to be in my Bible more. I want to pray more. I want to have a more consistent relationship with God. Those are things you can decide to do, and you get up every morning and you say, Lord, I want you to help me do these things. And that's totally different than having a New Year's resolution that's not going to last. Make your mind up. If you need to make a list, but keep it somewhere where you can, there with Miss Blaze, where you can see it and keep it in front of your mind. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Tomorrow night we will be back and we will read the 2nd chapter of Genesis. And then Sunday we will have Bike Church, and we will go from there. But anyway, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I'm glad that we're going to continue to do this, and I want to know that at some point we have read all the way through the Bible together. So thank y'all for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.